Hello, welcome. This is Life After Trauma with Dr. Jan, helping you to take a stand and put an end to all the drama. Just think of me as your second mama. Hi, I am Dr. Jan, and my channel is all about the trauma and the drama of domestic abuse. Did you know that domestic abuse is a dark and silent culture? Yes, it is. And that is why people do not talk about domestic abuse. And yet, domestic abuse is pervasive. It is everywhere. I know because I lived 42 years as a victim of domestic abuse. And in all of that time, I never told anyone what I was going through in my personal life, not even my own family. I remained silent all those years I experienced. I experienced the physical violence, the emotional abuse, and the verbal abuse, plus that psychological mind game called gaslighting. I never said a word and suffered in silence. But those days of silence are over. We are talking about domestic abuse in my platform, my channel, Life After Trauma with Dr. Jan. This is my life story. This channel is all about how I healed and recovered from the trauma and drama of domestic abuse. And I want to share how I moved from victim to victory. I am 85 years young. Yes, I was born in November of 1939. And today I am a successful survivor and overcomer of domestic abuse, not just once, but twice. And I'm still in my right mind, and I don't look like where I've been. But believe me, I've been to hell and back. This is episode 6. And today our topic is it's time to break the silence, and it's time to speak out about domestic abuse. But before we get started, I want you to subscribe and like this channel. I want you to hit that subscribe button and that like button. Let's grow this channel together because it's so much needed. There are so many silent victims out there who need our strength to help them heal and recover from the trauma and the drama of domestic abuse. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for liking this channel and telling someone about it. Life after trauma with Dr. Jan. Well, now let's get started. Domestic abuse is a serious problem. Did you know that domestic abuse is not just the physical violence? No, but many people do not know that. Domestic abuse can be emotional, it can be verbal, it can be that psychological mind game that we call gaslighting. Domestic abuse can also be spiritual and financial. Statistically, about 1 in every 4 women will experience domestic abuse in their lifetime, and about 1 in 7 men will experience domestic abuse sometime in their lifetime. And now that's a scary large number. That is why we must speak out about this problem. Now, we know that domestic abuse thrives in silence, but truth thrives in light. Even today, there are many who blame the victim in domestic abuse. They say crazy things like, she must like being abused. If she didn't, why does she stay? Or they say, if it's so bad, why doesn't she just leave? Well, those kinds of statements let us know that we need to educate ourselves about this dark and silent culture of domestic abuse. And it is my purpose and my passion to share my firsthand experience of what I have learned after living more than 42 years in domestic abuse with two husbands. I was married twice, and I lived almost 20 years with husband number one. He was older and he was physically violent. And I lived 22 years with husband number two. He was 10 and a half years younger. Yes, I was a cougar. Husband number two was never physically violent, but he was emotionally and verbally abusive, plus a narcissist and a gaslighter. And it is possible that that gaslighting and that psychological mind games can be really worse than the physical violence. The question has been asked of me often, why did I stay so long in each marriage? And that's a good question. I suppose I stayed because I really never wanted to be divorced. I was trying to save my marriage. And both times I married for life. I took my vows, wedding vows, very seriously. Till death do us part. But sometimes, things just do not work out the way that we hoped that they would. And today, in episode 6, we want to highlight three compelling reasons why it is time to speak out about domestic abuse. So let's begin. What are these three compelling reasons we need to talk about domestic abuse? Well, reason number one is awareness. We must begin to bring an awareness to this dark and silent culture because domestic abuse does not discriminate. Domestic abuse doesn't wear a label and it doesn't live in a particular zip code. No, domestic abuse crosses all demographics. Many people don't know that, but domestic abuse can be found in all races, all religions, all income levels, and in all professions. Yes. Now, we have been programmed to believe that domestic abuse is only the problem of poor people, or it's the problem of minorities and the marginalized. But that is not true. That is a myth. And you will find that some of the most well dressed, high performing, faith based, most educated, financially successful, and spiritual individuals are silently suffering in domestic abuse. And why is that? Well, it's because people from all walks of life, all cultures, all social and economic backgrounds, they all experience domestic abuse in one type or another. Domestic abuse is not the same for everybody. It's different. It's as individualized as the persons or the couple themselves. And don't forget that all ages can be victimized in domestic abuse, from the very, very young to the elderly. Domestic abuse does not discriminate. Domestic abuse affects every race, every creed, every color, and every nationality. Domestic abuse affects, as we said, the rich, the poor, and the middle class. Domestic abuse is white, is black, is yellow, is brown, is red, is green and purple too. But I know you get my point. No particular demographic group is exempt. So why do we remain silent? It's because domestic abuse is an embarrassment. It makes you feel ashamed, and we just don't want to let anyone know that is happening to us. It's a cultural thing, or it's religious pressure. But it is time for us, you and me, to change that. And the more we speak out about domestic abuse, the sooner we will all become aware that we must talk about this dark and silent culture. The sooner we do it, the better we all will be. So, reason number one for speaking out against about domestic abuse is awareness. Let everybody know what it's about. Reason number two is advocacy. Healthy and strong men must begin to advocate for the cause. We have some marvelous men in our culture. And you know, when healthy men who know who they are and they are confident in their masculinity, these men must not stay silent when other men are causing harm and things are about to change. Domestic abuse is not just a woman's issue. It's a human issue. Far too long, good men, strong men, capable men have remained silent when it comes to domestic abuse. Some may say, it's not my business. Others may have the fear of confrontation, or they do not recognize emotional abuse as abuse. We need strong, secure, emotionally intelligent men to model healthy masculinity, to mentor young men, to confront toxic behavior in other men, and to publicly speak out against abuse on platforms. What kinds of platforms? In the locker rooms, in church, at work, etc. That's when we're going to see a difference. Our call to action is to challenge men to rise as protectors and not predators. So, our call to action is to offer examples of male leaders or influence them to stand boldly against abuse. Encourage faith communities and workplaces to include male led workshops on emotional health. There's nothing like having a strong, capable man lead that conversation, that discussion. Talk about boundaries and accountability. And this is what we call advocacy. So, the reason number one that we need to talk about domestic abuse is awareness. And reason number two is advocacy. to advocate, strong men advocating and being that model. And last and not least, reason number three we need to talk about domestic abuse is healing. Healing for the victims. It's never too late to heal and recover from the trauma and the drama of domestic abuse. You might be like me. You may have lost years of your life to abuse. But you know what? You have not lost your future. Many victims feel that healing and recovery from the trauma and drama of domestic abuse is not possible. Many survivors believe that they've been through too much, or it's too late for me, they say. They think, I'm just too broken. This is just the way my life is now. But no, no, no. I am a living example that you can heal and recover and move on with the best part of your life. The emotional, the physical, and the psychological trauma of abuse can be healed with time, support, and resources. Healing has no expiration date. And no, you're not too old. And no, you're not too broken. And it's never too late to reclaim your life. Now, if you are ready to start your healing journey, explore my online digital curriculum, and it's available now on my website. My website is www.jnbministries.org. Your breakthrough begins here. Click on my website, www.jnbministries.org, and check out my online digital curriculum. It's called 7 Power Keys: How to Heal and Recover from the Trauma and Drama of Domestic Abuse. You have survived long enough. Now it's time to thrive and to heal. On my website, you will also find my ebook entitled Testimony of a Kept Woman: From Misery to Ministry Instead of the State Penitentiary. It is my memoir, my life story. It's a short and easy to read book about how I lived those 42 years in domestic abuse. It talks about the physical violence, the emotional and verbal abuse, plus the gaslighting. This book will just tell you all about me and let you see that it is never too late to get back your life and to live and to thrive as a winning, successful overcomer. Well, we've come to the end of our section. This is episode number 6, and this is Life After Trauma with Dr. Jan. I want to thank you for subscribing. I want to thank you for liking this channel. And I want to thank you for telling others about Life After Trauma with Dr. Jan. For so many years, this kind of platform was not available for me. In the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, none of this was available. I had to navigate what I was going through alone. But now, God is so good. He's opened up so many avenues for you as a victim to get a hold of your life and to move out and to move forward. So keep listening to this platform, this channel, and God bless you. And I hope to see you another time, the next time, for the next episode. God bless you and thank you. Hope to see you soon. God bless.